Good morning, card makers. Hi. So, I promised you a week or so ago that I was going to demo the Mini Minc for you. So, let's see. We've got quite a few things that I want to go over. So, I'm just going to camera down and we're going to start. So, let's see if we can do this. Perfect. Almost. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, what I showed you the other day was these. As you can see, beautiful foiling on here. This was made with a digital paper. So there was a free digital paper that was online, and I loved it. So I printed it out on my laser printer and I foiled it. Same image using a white foil. White foil is not as shiny. It does have some shine to it. You really can't see in the camera. But I just love the effect of the white on the black. I think it's very elegant. This was done with a stamp. So I've got my stamp here. And here's my stamp. And what I did is I stamped it with VersaFine onto a plain piece of paper. And then I scanned it into my computer and printed it out on to the laser printer. And I'll show you that as well. This was also a stamp. Same process, scanned it into the computer, and so forth. The other fun thing that we can do is to use our negatives. So I've got some negatives here. These are the negatives of these. Here's the negative sheet for the stamp image. Let's see. I can't really get that to show up. Needs a white background. There we go. So that's the negative image for the stamp. And you can print out a sheet of toner paper. If you just print a giant black box on your toner using your laser printer, and then you foiled that, then you can get the reverse image for a background, and that would be beautiful. Beautiful for a card. So I don't like to throw away any of my foil. That could be a beautiful edge on a card. We could also foil on foil. So I think I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to show you how to do foil on foil. So lots of stuff to go over today. So let's get started. So first things first. Let's see. So that was also, that's the teal on the white. All right, so I'm going to move the, oh, catastrophe. Sorry about that, guys. New light, working out the kinks. Here we go. Life wouldn't be fun if we didn't have a few disasters, right? Okay, there we go. All right. It's 2021, but I think that was 2020 giving one last chuckle in on us. All right, so where to start? There's so much we can do. So here's the Mini Minc. Now the Mini Minc is, if you're worried about space, and I keep misplacing things. I'm not actually misplacing things. I'm just blind as a bat this morning. So if you're worried about space, the Mini Minc to me was perfect. I have a very small craft room here. It's 12 inches long by 3.5, I think I determined, deep. And it has a opening of 6.5 inches, which is a perfect size for your cards. You could put 5 1/4 through there. You can, 5 1/2, what have you. It's a perfect size for your card. The full size Minc, if you end up going with that, is probably a good 6 more inches, and it'll accept a full sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. I think that's overkill. I think the mini Minc is really good. So the other thing that I love about this mini Minc as opposed to a laminator is you have different heat settings. So what I was finding using my laminator is if I used heavier cardstock, my foiling was not as crisp. It wasn't as nice. It was a lot of overfoiling because of too much pressure that the extra weight of the paper was causing. This will allow you to set your heat according to the thickness of the material that you're foiling on. It also heats up in record time. It took a good 2-3 minutes for my laminator to heat up. We're going to set this, I'm using 110 paper like I said today. This on-off switch on the back. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to dial this up to a 3. And that's going to blink red at us for a little bit here. Let's see if I can get this camera to show real colors. No, it doesn't want to. See, it's already heated up. It wasn't even 30 seconds. It's a beautiful thing. So that's going to sit off to the side for right now. Actually, no, we can leave that right in there. So I've got some stuff already set here that I want to foil with you today, so you can see how beautiful this product works. Let's see, that's some stuff I was playing with the other day. Okay. And you gotta bear with me for a second because I confused my stamped images with my laser printed images. So as you can see, this one here is a stamped image and this is a laser printed, and you can't tell the difference. The way I can tell the difference is there's a little bit of a halo of ink around this one, and I don't know if you can really see that in the camera, but yeah, there's like just a light dusting in the background there. So let's see, I've got some foil over here all ready to go. Now for the black on black image, believe it or not, when you print it out on your laser printer, you will be able to see where your ink is. Look, you can see exactly where that toner has printed, so you can line up your foil accordingly. So like I said, I've got some foil set aside over here. Let's find a big enough piece of foil. Let's see. So when you get the foil, it comes in sheets like this, and you cut it down to size. And you want to get it as close to the size of your image as possible. This came out of this roll, and it's just all rolled up in there, and you get 5 of these sheets in those rolls. So this one, I want to try this stuff. I haven't tried this stuff yet. Oh yeah, that's got a beautiful, it doesn't look anything like it. The outside of the thing made it look like rainbow stripes. It's really not. It's got a beautiful variegation going on in there. So I want to try this. I haven't tried this stuff yet. So let's see. Maybe I did play with it at one point. So I'm going to cut this down to, you can use scissors, you can use your utility knife. I want to cut this down to a little bit bigger than my image. Not enough pressure. Let's see. I've even been known to use my guillotine. The guillotine would work better on this than the sliding. Vice versa. The slide one will work better than the guillotine. Let's see. Just about there. Yeah. Okay, so this needs to go this way. So I'm going to cut it right about there. You just eyeball it. And keep these scraps. You can use them for fun projects later for what I call a confetti look, where you take all your little scraps and you have your foiled image or your toner image, and you paste all your little scraps so you can get different color variations throughout your project. That's really cool too. We can do that. Alright, so you're just going to put your foil on there. There's nothing special about this. You just put your foil on there. And then you get this carrier sheet. Now, if you buy this and you get your carrier sheet, if you end up losing your carrier sheet, you can use a folded out piece of printer paper, or I like to use parchment paper. But I like the carrier sheet that comes with it better because you can actually see the image. You can see your foil going in, and you know that if your foil shifts, you can back off and readjust your foil. And I missed a whole step. Shame on me. Before you put anything through your Misty or your Mini Minc, oh my goodness, all these M's, you gotta dust. So I use this makeup brush. You gotta dust off your project, and I'm seeing large pieces of dust on my project here. Dust will stick to the foil. It will cause the foil to stick. So you dust off your project surface, and you also want to dust off the back of your foil, because especially this time of year with the cold, you get a lot of static cling. And there's a big piece there. So just dust that through. Alright. So we're going to just put that on there. And we're going to stick this inside of our carrier sheet. So once it's in that carrier sheet, we got really bad lighting going on here, believe it or not. Okay, so once that's in that carrier sheet, you've got a finished side and an open side. You want to put this through your Mini Minc finished closed side first, and that prevents it from pulling apart while it's working. So this machine is now applying pressure. It's a tremendous amount of pressure and heat. And because the toner heats up and becomes an adhesive, it's going to allow this the foil to adhere to that toner. So now when we take this out and we peel back and we do our reveal, we want to let it cool down a little bit. We peel this and do our reveal. A little bit of overfoiling. Look at that. That is stunning. That is stunning. Now I've got some overfoiling here, but that could be this foil. It's a cheaper brand of foil, this Prima. Different foils. You got to kind of play with them and determine which ones you like better. But even with this over foiling, I like the effect of it. So I will use this. But that is beautiful. Look at that. Look at the shine that gives. Now, if you don't want those little specks, you can take an eraser. I have an electric eraser, which I find works really well. And you can just go around and clean up those spots. So there's that one. Okay, now what else did I want to show you? Oh! How many of you remember this image? So, when Mother posted this image the other day, I said that would make a beautiful foiled background for a card. So now I'm going to show you. I am going to take, let's see, yeah, so I printed this out of on my laser printer. I printed this out using the laser printer. Now, Mom bought the stamp, so in her case, she would have taken that stamp, stamped it onto a piece of paper, scanned it into her computer, and then printed it onto the laser printer. But because she put the image out there, I stole it. So just for demonstration purposes, and I'll get yelled at for this later, I'm just going to show you how that can be done. So let's see. So, no, a little bit bigger than that. Let's see, probably about here I can cut. Yep, alright. So, I am lousy at making straight lines. So, you can use your scissors. I like using my utility knife. I've got these self-healing mats on every surface I work around here. You want that to be just a little bit bigger than your project. That is, ooh, not big enough, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that. So let's see. We're going to do, I'll just cut off another little piece. So we're going to bring that up. And then I'm just going to put this piece here. Now I could just take this and let's see if I can get it to work without the foil shifting. If the foil, actually I gotta do dusty. Do my dusty first. If the foil does shift when you're trying to put it into your carrier sheet, in this case, I got a lot of dust on my carrier sheet. If it does shift trying to do that, you can get some heat tape. This is heat tape. I got this off of Amazon, and it's just high temperature tape. I actually bought this to use with my mug press to hold the images on my mugs when I set them in the mug press, but it'll work for this as well. And it's just a high temperature tape that won't damage or won't stick to the paper so badly that you can't get it off. So we may end up using a little bit of that. But let's see, so let's dust off our image here. Do not, I should stress this, do not use your anti-static tool to do this. Your anti-static tool by nature is a dust. It's a powder. And that powder will leave a residue on your project and the foil will adhere to it. So do not. do that. So let's see, we'll line that up. All right, we're gonna try. We're gonna try. Now, if it does end up shifting, we can put it through. We can put the foil back on whatever piece shifted on us, and we can stick it back through. So let's see. Let's see what this beautiful piggies look like when we foil them. So just another way to get use out of the materials that you have. You use the stamps that you have, and you can add a little bit more of a pop to them and give them more life than just a stamped flat image. You can give them some shine. Somebody wants to talk to me. I'm thinking they're on the MeWe site, because that's the sound I'm getting back here. Okay, so take that out. Let this cool down just a little bit. And while that's cooling down, I'm gonna show you the next thing. So, for you people that have stencils, I'm gonna shut this off. For you people that have the stencils, what you can do with your stencils is absolutely amazing. If you come up with this stuff, this is awesome stuff. You can use it with or without your Minc. I like it better with the Minc. Without the Minc, you tend to get a more distressed look. But it's called Deco Foil Transfer Gel Duo. And what you do is you layer this over your stencil on your paper. And then when you lift up your stencil, you have that beautiful raised image that's ready to foil. And this is the result. And you can see the texture. You can see how that's raised in there. And that just adds that beautiful dimension to your card, whatever whatever you're doing with your card. So we're going to do that. Hold on. So I've got some paper here that I've pre-cut, and I want to put this lovely piece on here. So I am very shaky with my hands. I also don't like, I found out the hard way that when you're doing this, you can tend to over splatter with the stuff. So what I like to do is take a piece of washi tape. Washi, everybody pronounces that a little different. Some washi tape. And I know washi tape can tend to be a little bit pricey if you're going for the pretty designs and what have you. I found that in the craft stores like Michael's, you can go in the discount section and you can get beautiful rolls of waste washi tape. And I call this waste because what else are you going to use this for? I mean, this particular one looks like you're supposed to use it to label things, right? I've got another one over here. It's actually cute. It looks like little paper clips. This one's little paper clips, so when I use it, I put the paper clips on to hold my paper down. So anyway, I just put that down on there where my image is not going to go. And that's going to hold down. And it's also going to protect this paper out here. It's going to keep it from getting any excess paste off of it. just ripped my paper. Okay. So we'll do that. So now my stencil's down. I mean, you don't have to do this. I like to do this because I think it, like I said, it helps to protect this outer edge of this paper. So when you open this, I've already used this, but I leave this attached. It's going to help it when the stuff can dry out very easily, so it's going to help it stay liquidy. You just pull it back so far, but leave it attached, and then you just come in here and you get a glob. Let's get a good glob of that, and you plaster it right there, and then you just evenly spread this out. Now, a tip that I will give you, when you're done, you want to wash off this stencil immediately. This stuff will stick for forever. You may also want to, if you don't want to get the surface that you're working on, get a no stick mat or a just a piece of typing paper like this, printer paper, and just put it under there, so if you overshoot on the other side, you don't get it on yourself. There's a little bit more. And just mash it into all those crevices. You can get these tools in any painting supply, painting department. Hobby Lobby has them. You can get them relatively cheap. I got a whole package of them, different sizes, shapes, what have you. And you can be as meticulous with this as you want. So if, like, I've got some air bubbles popping up in here, which you can get those and fill them in with paste, or you can leave them be. I mean, this is your project, this is your baby, you do what you want with it. Let's see. And don't worry about wasting. Don't worry about not using enough paste or using too much paste. What if you have any excess, you're just going to scrape it right back into that container. So you're only going to end up using exactly what you want to use. On this paste. Now, we're not actually going to foil this guy today because, like I said, we got to let him dry for an hour. But I will post a addendum picture image. My fault. I just completely forgot to prep a piece yesterday, so I'm very sorry. Let's see. So yeah, and then that just goes right back into the bottle. So you definitely want to wash your stencil and your palette immediately, or as soon as possible after, because it does start drying right away. I'm going to rip this up. Oh, my washi tape here is not as forgiving as it says it's supposed to be. It is actually ripping up my paper. Which is not good. So I'm just lifting that guy up. And look what I'm left with. Isn't that beautiful? I'm very disappointed in this paper, in this washi tape. I get this paper at Hobby Lobby. The smoother, well, not for this particular, oh yeah, look at that. It just ruined my paper. I can still use this though. I can salvage this. The smoother the paper, I should have mentioned earlier, the smoother the paper, the better it is for foiling. What else can I tell you about? Hold on. Oh, let's see. So I'm just going to set this aside and I'm going to let that dry. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside and we're going to let him dry. I don't suggest using 65-pound paper, only for the fact that, especially, well, when you're doing this type of work, because it's just a baby wipe. Only because it sorry, I'm really brain dead at the moment. It buckles. The paper buckles when it gets wet. So the thicker the cardstock, the better. So I'm just doing a really quick. I'll wash these after, but I don't want to leave them sitting here. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so I'll wash those later. So like I said, when that dries, it's going to dry sticky. Let's see, my space. Always keep your work surface clean. So let's get back to our friend here. He's nice and cooled off now. Let's see. So here's the end that had the doubling, that I had to put the extra shim piece in there. If I pull that off, you can see there's my, and that would make a cute background too. And that worked perfectly. You can't tell where the separation was. Everything just foiled out beautifully on him. So then I can take him and I can actually color him in. Your markers will not stick to the foil, so you can go to town coloring him in. Or you can leave it just the way it is. You could, even if you have a foil machine, you could stamp a word or something in here. You can play with that. So yeah. So let's see. Did I have anything else to show you here today, guys? Oh yes, I wanted to show you. But I need to print out a piece. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm going to go behind me. And I'm going to print out a piece of toner paper. So to print a piece of toner paper is very easy. I don't know if you guys can see this. If I turn my camera up, I don't know if you can see it over here. I'm just going to pull up a window of some sort. I don't know. I don't care. I like Inkscape. Inkscape is a free graphics. Oh, and I lost my camera. Inkscape is a free program. It's a graphics program that allows you to do all kinds of fun graphics, and I use it for my vinyling, but I also use it for card making. You can adapt your cards and have some fun doing some things. Let's see. Yeah, this camera setup is just, I need to work on it. There we go. So if you come into this Inkscape program, you can just draw a giant black box, just like that. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. And you set your dimensions to 8.5 by 11. I'm going to say okay. And then I'm just going to print it. But I want to make sure I've got some paper in there. I'm just going to grab a piece of white paper so you can see this. Let's see. So some white paper, and we're just going to print this big black box. So I just printed this big black box. So I can do a lot of stuff with this. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. I've got people looming outside my craft room door here. Let's see. So I'm going to cut this to a size. I told you I like the black on the white, right? And the white on the black. I think it's elegant, so let's go. Let's see. I'm going to cut this to just about that size. And I've got stuff everywhere. I got to clean up here. All right. So let's see, and just about there, right? So we'll say 3.5. I'll bring this in and go to 3.5. Don't throw this stuff, don't throw the edges away. Those are usable. Everything is usable here. So now I've got this box. That didn't work. That's a little better. I'm going to push this back up. For that to heat up. And it's ready. I just love this thing. The other thing you can do, I'm just going to prep this. This one I love. I love this. So I've just got this piece of foil, just blue foil. I'm going to cut this down to about that size. I told you I can't cut straight to save my life. So let's see, we're going to come in here. So I've just got this piece of foil, this piece of toner paper, and this piece of foil. You don't need to go out and buy the fancy toner paper that Gina K puts out and everybody else puts out. You can do this yourself on a budget. Although I'm sure theirs probably has better quality. But, you know. Let's see. So we're going to peel this back. Look at this. Look at that. How beautiful is that? You trim this down, and that's a beautiful background for a card. But I want to show you something. Same card. Same card. We've got our pretty rainbow paper, or foil. I know what I'm talking about. We'll go this way. We'll go this way. Oh, perfect size. I'm going to cut that down though. I'm going to cut that down to just about there. I told you I'd show you the beautiful foil on foil effect. I hope you're able to see it. I know it'll do it, but we're talking fine lines here. It's not going to be perfect. We get a little bit of edges, but we can figure that out too. So that's going to go through there. So this one's wasted. There's nothing left to that. That can get thrown away. Anticipation. Ooh, ooh. Well, this happens. It does. We stick. You can buy these on Amazon, these sheets as well. So that one's going to go there, and while that one's cooling off, we're going to cue up this one. I can't wait to show you what this one does. This one is awesome. What you can do with this. This is going to bring your die cutting to a whole new level, what I'm about to show you. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to peel that. Oh no, it didn't work. Because this is that yucky foil. So what should have happened is any of the areas that did not previously foil should have picked this up. But this is that horrible foil, so it just adhered to everything. That's sad. That's sad. But that in and of itself, I have to say, is a beautiful distressed background. I can use that. Alright, so we can, normally you would foil on foil, like I said, and only the areas that still had toner showing would pick up the foil, but this is that cheaper foil, so it didn't work the way I wanted it to. which is a shame. Okay, so guys, watch this. So now I've got this foiled piece. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. Watch what I do with that foil piece. Let's see. Let's see. Let's just see. My apologies, I should have had something already out, but I thought about this last minute to show you. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? You know where I'm going with it. Watch this. Perfect. See this butterfly? I saved the best for last, guys. Oh no! I just stuck my hand right into it. No! Oh well. Everything's going wrong in today's video. So I've got my Gemini Go, which is tiny, tiny, tiny. We might as well demo that for you while we're here. Tiniest little thing. Big enough for one day. Okay. Alright, get ready for the noise. Look at this, guys. Look at this. You can imagine it, right? You're imagining it. You know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna poke through a... As you can see the sparkle in there. You can see it. Okay. I have an audience here today. Audience outside my door here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is beautiful. Now imagine this with that leopard foil. That would be gorgeous on that butterfly, that leopard foil. Look at that. So, that's what I'm able to show you today about foil. If I learn anything new, I'll bring it to you. I don't know what I'm going to do with that now. That upset me. I'm going to redo it, and I'll show you the results when I get them. And that's it. So if anybody has any questions, definitely drop me a line. If you like the video, follow me. If I come up with some more videos, you'll be the first to know. Okay? Happy crafting! Bye!